Welcome back. The energy price cap is set to increase by 13%, or around £200, to £1,862 in July, using the long-standing methodology to calculate it. We're joined by Sabrina Hock, the energy expert at Uswitch, specialising in tariffs, switching behaviour and wholesale pricing. Very good morning to you. Thanks for joining us. So an increase of 13%. Talk us through what drives that increase, because some might have expected a bigger, it's very big in pound terms, but a bigger percentage increase given how much the raw commodities have gone up.
Yeah, of course. So, yeah, you're right. The official price cap has been announced today at £1,862, so a huge 13% increase on April's price cap. And the main driver of that is this conflict in the Middle East. So the global wholesale gas market and the costs have been very, very volatile over the last few months, and mainly driven by this conflict. Because the UK buys gas on an international market, we're now seeing the effect of that in our household bills. So whilst at the start of the conflict in March, yes, so I think we were seeing the price cap expectation to be around the £2,000 mark. So it has come down slightly, and there is a little bit of softness in the market now. And that's why it's a really great time for customers to not sort of bury their heads in the sand. It's a little bit difficult to talk about winter when we're in the midst of a heat wave, but we're encouraging customers to take action now and actually look at maybe moving on to a switch tariff if they're in a position to do so, to give themselves that kind of peace of mind and certainty in this very volatile market.
And it's worth, obviously, therefore, highlighting the point, it's gone up 13% for the July quarter, which obviously is not expected to be a heavy heating or energy usage quarter, so the increase in light of that. So what exactly are you advising people do when you say switching, and what do you mean by that?
So what we know is most of the UK, so around 60% of the UK, are on a standard variable tariff or default tariff. So if you haven't switched your energy for about 12 to 15 months, it's likely you've been moved onto this tariff. Now, those customers are the ones that will be impacted by any increases in the price cap. So for those customers, what's the best thing that they can do right now is run a quick comparison. It takes minutes to run a comparison, and see if they can actually move on to a fixed tariff. So there are about 26 fixed tariffs at the moment, which are cheaper than the current July price cap. The cheapest one offering about £250 savings. So for those customers, it's a really great option for them to look at running a comparison and see if they can lock in their rates for about a year or so, to give them this peace of mind that in the winter, when we're using a lot more gas and electricity to stay warm, their bills won't be spiking.
That's interesting. I mean, and obviously the certainty that you get from that to some people is sort of priceless. That said, would they not risk locking in a 12-month rate when the war is still going? If the war ended the following day, would they live to regret locking that price in?
So what we know is energy providers are very reactive to any changes in the market. But let's face it, that the war doesn't look like it's ending tomorrow. And so with this volatility in mind, the best thing customers can do is to actually give themselves some security and peace of mind by locking in today. By moving to a fixed tariff, most cases, customers are going to be saving against the price cap. So if you're in a position to move to a fixed tariff, if you know you're coming off or coming to the end of your current fixed tariff, so if you've got 49 days or so left in your fixed tariff, you can actually move on to another fixed tariff and switch to another provider without incurring any exit fees. So the advice is that actually moving on to a fixed tariff will more often than not offer savings against the price cap.
Sabrina, thanks so much for joining us. Well, we're out of time, but there's Sabrina Hock from Uswitch. Thanks so much.
Feels weird to think about heating when it's really hot, doesn't it? Not to say it isn't super important. I know it's like something people worry about already, but it's just...
But by the way, on these points, this is for the July quarter, July, August and September. So, it's gone up. It's gone up 13%. It's gone up £200. But if the war persists and we, in 3 months' time, we're getting the price cap for the final quarter of the year, then things could be worse. If the war ends, obviously, a different situation.